Hiya, it is the Chloe and Abby show. We are back once again. I'd love to say we're feeling positive and great, but very much like Liverpool's season, it has been meh, with some alright moments. I mean, good Lord, how are you feeling, Abby?
Do you know what's annoying? It would be you and me to be talking about making a podcast for over a year.
Yeah.
And we win the league last year and would have had so much positivity to talk about. For us to finally set up a podcast and for it to be this shocking, basically. Like, it is only our luck for us to make a podcast and it to be this depressing, and people have to listen to us moan and talk about whether Arne Slot should still have a job again and again, because that's all everyone seems to want to talk about. And also talking about a performance that is the same performance pretty much as we talked about last time and the time before that.
Yeah.
Again and again.
It's fun.
Because it's the same, it's just the same thing. The same things happening again and again, to the point where every single game, even the wins, are merging in my brain as one big, slow, reserved game that's filled with panic towards the end.
When you go to someone, hey, this game's just reminded me, of what game? And someone lists off 7 other games that's happened this season, and you're like, oh yeah, no, it could be any of those. Anyway, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We are going to react to that kind of Wolves performance. We do have Wolves once again tomorrow, so we'll be looking at that. But mainly we'll be looking at the frustrations of just this season. If we think Liverpool will get top 5 and Champions League football next season, you know, our thoughts on what has to improve, what will happen potentially in the summer, things like that. And also we will have a look quickly at the Champions League draw, which was made, but we've not been here since then. And it's fair to say that draw, I'd have just rather been on the other side. I really would have.
Arsenal have just got a run to the final, haven't they? This is the easiest thing I have ever seen, and yet we have literally got to just batter the best teams basically to get there. But you know what?
But at least it means, you know, big games of football.
Some good aways for people.
Well, you won't have to, like, there's some games where, look, there's a lot of people who've been like, oh, I've gone to Anfield and like the atmosphere's not great, and we're like, well, yeah, you know, you're close to the bottom of the Premier League. Like, it's not going to be as if like there's so much high stakes on this, where every single round there is high stakes, there's high teams, there's brilliant teams to play. So there won't be a single problem with atmospheres.
Don't
Liverpool
you also think it's nerves though? Like in the ground? I don't even think that it's just down to
I'm talking about maybe the last couple of seasons where...
for the Champions League, we're always going to get up for it no matter what. But when you're like breaking it down game by game and all these people are getting annoyed about our atmosphere, and every time I click on the overlap, it's someone saying Anfield's atmosphere is a myth and all stuff like that, when it's not. A part of me just thinks we're all tired and filled with anxiety of what's actually going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
That West Ham game was a bit like that, because Liverpool were ahead, and like to a lot of like the neutrals, they probably thought, yeah, Liverpool, no matter, you know, if it is 3-1 or if it is 4-2, you know, Liverpool will see that out. But inside the ground, it just felt like Liverpool didn't have the greatest amount of control over that game. And because of what has happened quite a lot this season, where Liverpool, you know, have been complacent. I mean, I look at Leeds, where we were, you know, absolutely sound up, and then one mistake and everything falls. You know, it's like a house of cards just completely collapses, because that's happened so many times this season. You do feel on edge inside the atmosphere, and maybe that's been a reason why Liverpool's atmosphere hasn't been as good this season. But in previous seasons, when it's not been the greatest, it might be, you know, cup competitions, or Accrington Stanleys came to town, or someone like that, where it's more of a family kind of atmosphere. But in the Champions League, because it's unbelievable big clubs that you've got to face, it is, you know, Premier League football teams that you've got to face as well. It's fair to say that the crowd will know what their job is for that. But let's get on to the Wolves' performance, and not necessarily dissecting the Wolves' performance, because like you mentioned there, it's dissecting the way we play, because we've played a lot like that this season. I've thought many a times, Abby, this season, Liverpool oh, they might be turning a corner here. And every time I've been proved wrong. This time I was building that hope. I wasn't there thinking Liverpool had turned a corner, but they had me, they'd pulled me in and were like, believe us. And I was there to the moment where I was like, you know what, maybe Liverpool have turned the corner finally this season. No. To
be fair, I don't think I left the ground after West Ham feeling like, oh wow, this is it, we are back, we're gonna win everything. And I know you and me did Premier League productions and they cornered me about saying that we'd win the Champions League. But obviously a lot of that's just me carrying a lot of hope inside of me. But when I'm being rational, I can't say that West Ham performance was anything comfortable, no matter what. The moment I sat down and thought, oh yeah, I can relax a little bit now, we concede or we do something stupid, and my anxiety went up again. And I think as we've been through that trauma of just bottling it right at the end of games all season long, I don't think I've been that comfortable. But when you're going against bottom of the league Wolves that have been shocking all season, they've been terrible. That was a guaranteed 3 points in my mind, no matter what. See, why was I so confident going into that?
Because I wasn't. They recently, for me,
anyone else, I wasn't. Yeah. But Wolves, I was like, yeah, this is I can be relaxed.
It does seem like they're dead and buried in terms of relegation. Yeah. It's obviously not being confirmed because mathematically, but they basically
what is it
down.
Like they're on 16, 17 something, and
I think it's
Freedom's
20,
like 25.
28 is what West Ham and Forest are on, and they're obviously, I think West Ham is still in the relegation zone, Forest, and then Spurs, who obviously play tonight, they're literally level on points, I think, or a point ahead. So, you know, Spurs are very much in that race.
It's actually mental.
It's mad.
I'm sure we can talk about that, but that is genuinely like, if I was a Spurs fan right now, I would be.
It's just ludicrous.
I'd be terrified.
Absolutely ludicrous. But for me, I was concerned about Wolves because Rob Edwards, they're not great, but they do have the likes of Mane and Gomez in midfield, who is just a really good technical footballer. And under Rob Edwards, they were starting to play a little bit better. They stunned Arsenal a couple of weeks ago with that comeback draw. They beat Villa the weekend, obviously a couple of days before they faced us. So I wasn't going there thinking, yes, simple. I was going there thinking, Liverpool, you need to get the job done, and you should. You know, there's no excuses. But what I want to talk about is how many times this season have I said, either at a Liverpool game or at least a Liverpool half of football, and mainly the first half, is that was such a non-event. Like, what happened? Did a single big thing happen in that game of football? And it felt like for 60 minutes at least, it was one big non-event for me. That first half, honestly, I'd inside the ground, there was nothing from the Wolves fans, there was nothing from our fans really, but there was also nothing to feed off. And a lot of people were like, have we even had a chance? Have we had a shot? And so many games this season, I've sat there and gone, Liverpool haven't attempted to go and win this game of football in that first 45 minutes. And it was just another one of them.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing there to get the away end up at all. I completely get it. I completely understand why we're being accused of being flat even in the away end this season, but it's going to be when you're watching games of football like that. That first half, I mean, obviously Chloe's just dropped a lid off of her drink, but I can just carry on. Are you okay,
Yeah,
hon?
I'm good, thank you.
Anyway, in that first half, what are you like, Chloe? I'm so glad you didn't spill it.
It's not even back
over.
on, so I'm just trying to...
I'm just glad she didn't spill it all over herself, because that was what I was about to watch happen. Anyway, we go again. So in that first half, I have seen it 1,000,001 times this season where it's just reserved and led with fear, but not in a panic fear. That kicks in after 60 minutes. Yeah. That kicks in after 60 minutes, but it's this reserved, panicked conservativeness where last season we were praising them for being professional and, you know, taking the game slowly, working our way into the game and then finding the right way to go about it. It's not that this season. It looks like they're on the pitch and they don't really know what approach they want to take except do not lose. There just seems to be this fear in the players on the pitch that they do not want to lose. They do not want to lose possession, but they do. By the way, Ekitike was losing possession a lot and it was frustrating me. Salah was completely out of the game, and I understand that you know, teams are just going to put 2 men on him and that's it really. But when he does get away with the balls that time, he's not creating anything anyway. Maybe we were missing Wirtz. That's a conversation that could be had if we did have Wirtz in that game.
The thing I'd like to say is it's absolutely mad, because at the start of the season, it was these end-to-end games of football, at least for the last 20 minutes of them, where Liverpool need to go and find a last-minute winner. The first 5 go in the favour of Liverpool. And I remember sitting there going, okay, this is brilliant at getting the points, but you need to look at the performances, because at some point you're going to run out of luck. Crystal Palace, we run out of luck. And then we go on a kind of a spell of like either teams dominating us or, you know, us losing basketball matches because we've got no control over the game. And then we revert to being a little bit like what we are and what we see so much, where it's like, actually, just keep the ball. You know, let's be a little bit more defensive in terms of our mindset, so that we're not in these mad basketball games where they've got loads of chances to win the game, and that is what was happening. And therefore, like, that's what we started doing. And that unbeaten run, it was excruciating to watch. Yeah. I'm so sorry to all of you who've had to listen to me say that word all season, because it has been that. It is, though. And it was that for a large spell. And then we've kind of injected moments into the game of football where we do play quite well, but we weren't taking our chances. The other day against West Ham, we lapsed concentration and was a little bit sloppy, which kept letting them back into the game. Like, Allison puts one at the feet of Bowen and thank God it bounces back off him, or they win the ball high up and cause a real opportunity. But there are spells in that game where Liverpool are on top, do really well, and the big difference in that game was Liverpool took their chances when they were on top. But when you watch games like this for the first 60 minutes, and Slot said there is no difference in approach from this game to West Ham or to any other game, but watching it, it's like we're all just waiting for each other to make something happen.
Do you think a conversation needs to be had? And I said this on Radio Merseyside before the Karabag game, so that's how long ago it's been. Do you think a conversation needs to be had about Allison and his distribution, his kicking, and his nerves at the back, and the players don't actually look like they trust him anymore? I'm not sure. Or do they overly trust him and his distribution and his panic? Or do you know what I mean? Are they giving him the ball at times and putting him under pressure? Yeah.
And since he's came back from that, there has been at least 2 times in every game of football where he's kicked the ball and it's gone straight to their attacking midfielder, or he's done something like that. There was one at Anfield where he literally put it on a plate for someone in the middle of the park, and he was out of his goal and had to sprint back to save it. And if the lad gets any more conviction on the shot, it's a goal. Yeah. And Allison Beck has just, you know, assisted him. Yeah. The other day, I mean, I thought Curtis originally does well, and then he passes it to Allison, which, okay, but with the way Allison's being kicking a football, maybe not great.
Not the time.
Then the ball goes hardly anywhere. It goes up instead of long. But the way Chiesa and Rio just watch this lad waltz onto this bouncing ball, and then no one tries to foul him or anything, or tries to block it. No one then engages and comes out. The reason it takes a deflection is because you've half-arsed it. Yeah. It's because you've gone out a little bit, but you've actually showed no conviction to closing him down properly. Yeah. And why he was allowed to carry that ball, you know, 5 to 10 yards up the pitch before shooting is beyond me. It's just madness what we do. And Allison's kicking. I don't know whether it's due to that hamstring injury, but whatever it is, we need to change the way we play then. Because in pressure moments like that, you can't give Allison Becker the ball then, because if he can't kick a ball out and get us out in the final minutes of a game, then this is going to happen again and again and again.
Yeah. And I'm not saying, listen, this is all Allison's fault. This is clearly Allison. I'm not saying that at all. But a lot of games this season where we've struggled and we've ended up dropping points late on, we've only conceded like 2 or 3 shots on target in some of these games. And like when you look at Wolves, we conceded 3 shots on target and we conceded 2 goals. Yeah. That's more worrying to me than if, I mean, obviously it's worrying if we're taking on loads of shots, you know what I mean? That's a concern. But at the end of the day, why is it the moment we're under threat in any shape or form, we're conceding? That's an issue for me, and a lot of it is
character though.
Yeah, like, it is.
There's you know, in those moments you need people to be resilient and stand up and go, no, I'm not having this. All of you need to stay resilient here.
Is it too basic then to say that the mentality at the football club right now is just completely off, and it comes down to mentality?
We've been very fragile. We've been really weak minded, and also weak in terms of a backbone and a spine of the team. It's been far too easy, and the simplest way I can put it is, throughout my time of going Anfield, or throughout my time of going to away games, Liverpool show up to town and it is, we need to create an incredible atmosphere here to even try and get at them. We need to do so many things, and a lot of the times teams are reserved against us and try and find ways to, you know, clinching it and doing a smash and grab type of thing. Or when they come to Anfield, it is try and be resilient. Can we get a point here? Where this season it's not been there. People have been rocking up to Anfield and going, these are weak as hell. Like, let's just get at them.
No one's scared to play us.
No, exactly.
And that's the mentality.
And that's what it's been
change.
like the entire season. And also, especially for Wolves, Wolves are going to go down. Wolves have absolutely nothing to lose. We might as well throw absolutely everything at you, because we've then beat the champions. We've also created an incredible event and night for the fans. And if we lose to Liverpool, then, you know, people were probably expecting that of us anyway. So I do think it is sometimes to do with the way that we, you know, mentally set up for games.
But it's even delivery on corners being shocking. See, like stuff like that, it's basics. You've got to not be hitting that first fella. I'm not being funny, but it's embarrassing when you're getting like 10, 11 corners in a game and every single one of them, most of the time, it's hitting the first man, and that is just ridiculous. You've got so many chances there when you've got big lads in the box like Virgil and Konate. What is going on in training? That's a training issue. I actually looked that West Ham game. I thought, I was like, wow, we might have done well getting Mr. Adam Briggs, because my word, we've improved. Yeah, we're doing quite well. We're quite dangerous from them. I had the same thought.
The problem is that Liverpool have at times been trying the run front post flick on, because Arsenal have been doing it and it's been so extremely dangerous. And every time we've been able to do that, we create situations. But if you step away from that and it's the front post, nobody's there. Or, you know, if you don't put the ball at the correct height, which is, you know, you look at Declan Rice and you look at Saka, they put the ball like a millimetre over the front man to either flick it on or just beat that front man, and it becomes so dangerous for anybody to defend, because, you know, it's hard to get it out and away from danger. And that's the thing, is that you've got to be so accurate if you're doing that tactic time and time again to hit the correct spot. So don't try it then. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Don't try it then if you've not perfected it.
It's just been a case of, obviously it was horrendous the other day, and at some point maybe revert to something else. But if that's what they've been doing on the training pitch, they're going to continue to do that if they've been told that is the plan from set pieces. My point is like you said there, if it doesn't work several times in a row, and like you're getting loads of corners and the same outcomes coming, and if anything, you're giving them towards the end of the game a massive chance to counter-attack you. You know, maybe just loft one in and see what we can do from it.
So how much of this are you blaming on Slot? I mean, for me personally, it all comes down to training. It all comes down to what they're being told. And we said this on the last podcast. We had a conversation about what we saw from Curtis at the side of the pitch speaking to Slot a long time ago, over a month ago now. But these are decisions that are being made by him to play in a specific way. And maybe the mentality of the players have dropped, maybe the heads have dropped, maybe the confidence has gone, and it's hard to pick players back up from that. And obviously... But
we had been in decent form in... look, we'll talk about Forest in a minute.
It's easy to forget that, though, when you've gone straight back to the way that it was. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to even take it into consideration when we've gone back to it feeling like that unbeaten run that was just dreadful.
Ultimately, he's the manager, so it falls at his door. He's the one leading the players on the pitch. You know, the individual errors and sloppiness in games of football, like if Allison just hoofs it up the pitch and then players react to the ball, then, you know, that situation can be averted. So in that sense, I'm not in those specific moments where it is stupid sloppiness and just errors from individuals, there's not much he can do. But in terms of a mentality from the off, I think there's loads he can do, because he's not getting the best out of the players on the pitch. But also, we're playing a brand of football that right now, it's like dying a slow death. It is horrendous to watch.
Though, Chloe, they're repeating the same mistakes, so that's when it does fall to his door. Yes, individual errors are what's doing it. Do you know what I mean? Individuals this season have made stupid mistakes, and you can think, how can you blame the manager for that? But similar things are happening again and again. So why is he not sitting them down and saying, Allison, pack that in, or to the players, just don't give it to him, because he's clearly in a situation right now where he's nursing an injury or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. I mean, we saw an improvement from Konate, and I was thinking maybe he's sat him down and he's had some whatever. I mean, I don't know. But you can see improvements in little ways like that, but we're slipping back. And it's frustrating because you're watching the same things happen again and again. And that's when it is his fault. Yeah. That is his fault.
Liverpool are far too inconsistent, and that is him. That's the way he's got his players playing football. It's that simple. And as the manager, you've got to let it fall at your door, because that is literally your job. You're in charge of getting the results and the performances. And Liverpool, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. Anything good in a run of games, it completely falls away once these bad moments happen. And Forest was unbelievable being inside that ground, and obviously being able to see, lads, we can't play out from the back. You're going to have to hit it long, make it stick and get us out, because every 2 passes, the ball is back with them, or it's out for a throw-in to them. We were being suffocated, and Liverpool didn't have a way to get out of that. And it was mad, because for 45 minutes we just stuck at it, and it was like, we were lucky to be at half time at 0-0. And second half, we slightly get better, but mainly we get away with it. And at the time, a load of people are saying, is it papering over the cracks or what? And I remember I got asked the other week, are Liverpool finally turning the corner? And my honest answer was no. Liverpool have not shown me that they will be consistent for a run of 10 games. They've not shown me that. And until they show me that they can be consistent for 90 minutes, not 30 here or there, then I can't tell you that Liverpool are going to turn a corner. And yet, once again, we're proven right, because Liverpool might play good for 20 minutes of a game of football. At the most, 45, because the first halves feel like a complete write-off half the time. But Liverpool, just over a 90-minute period, are just either lethargic to watch and boring, or it feels like you've got no control over the game of football, and it's just mad.
Yeah, and you're never going to get the fans up for anything playing like that. That's never going to make any of us feel better. Like you've just said, you didn't feel like we were turning a corner. Well, you're not going to when you're watching that type of football.
Fear of it as well.
And do you know what else? I absolutely love Virgil. But you can see now how much this is affecting him, because did you see his post-match interview?
I didn't.
He was just so, hardly answering he was answering the questions, but he was really down with it, and you could just see it was weighing heavy on him now as captain. And listen, I want to see that it's upsetting him just as much as it's upsetting us, but I also want to hear him say, we know what we're doing wrong and we're going to deal with it, and I have belief. But he was sort of listening with what's going wrong, and not really addressing it in a way of... Obviously, he's just come off the pitch and he's frustrated, and we've just lost against bottom of the league and he's going to feel annoyed. But I wanted to see some sort of captain's speech there that sort of told me that things are going to be all right. We know where we're going wrong and that this isn't okay. But it was very much in the way of, I'm fed up. This isn't going right. I've just signed a 2-year deal to stay here. And he just looked so frustrated and down with it. And I love him, and he just feels exactly the same way we do. But I'm not going to start feeling like I want to get up for games like tomorrow when I'm watching that they're just as miserable as I am. But they're going to be. But you get what I mean? It's like media training in a way of even Slot's press conferences. he feels snappy. Like today he was quite like laughy and jokey, but do you know what I mean?
I've had problem with Slot's press conferences in terms of he's tried to like, he's basically tried to tell me that the game of football I've watched is not the game of football I've watched, and that he's watched a brilliant game of football.
And that it's all down to luck, and that should feel
and
sorry
like,
for
these
us.
shots that they've had shouldn't statistically go in. I'm not asked if they shouldn't statistically go in. They've gone in the back of the net. So instead of coming out and giving me some absolute crap I'm not asked about hearing, turn around and say, we've not been good enough in that game. We didn't actually deserve to come away with, you know, anything. And this is what happens when you play that way. Like, at the start, I commended his ruthlessness. And him being like, yeah, that's not good enough. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. Yeah, we're winning.
Took
but this
off
this,
in that first game because of this, and it wasn't good enough. Like, that sort of honesty.
Now, it's like, now he's reverted to maybe trying to protect himself and his players, where now I just want you to be honest with me. Don't try and tell me I've watched a different game of football than you, because I can guarantee you now I haven't, and everyone in the away end feels the exact same way. And this was the other thing, is that, you know, I think the run that we'd just recently been on, a lot of the noise around Slot had gone away. But then at full time, Wolves, people coming out the ground, it was right back to where it was, you know, a couple of months ago. And it's like, it really is like that. Like, no one has, it seems like no one's thought, we will turn a corner, or don't worry, we're on the right path, or anything like that. It's once this happens, because of the context of the entire season, it's instantly back up there to, ooh, is his job in danger?
That dread sat in the back of all the fans' minds. That's why, like, we've never been able to, like, buy back into it. Do you know what I mean? Me, I
think a lot of people coming out the ground, I mean, I don't know about you, but it was more a case of, I don't think it was necessarily aimed solely at Slot and his job and stuff. I think it was, I cannot be arsed watching that game of football that I've just watched again and again and again. Yeah, I've seen it about, you know, half of the season. And I think that was what was annoying, was that, like I mentioned, for the first, like, 60 minutes, it was like Liverpool didn't do anything to try and win the game of football. And I think that from walking out the ground, the fans were necessarily going, my God, how bad do we consistently play, where it's just like a non-event every time?
You being in that ground for an away game like that, you'll have a more clear understanding of how the fan base, as a whole, of those who sort of go the game and travel away and all that, like you do. Whereas I can't always get away games, I can always try and get to home ones. You've got a better perspective of how the core fan base feels about the situation, whereas me, I, after that game, went on Twitter, went on Instagram comment sections, you know, TikTok lives of people getting angry and all that sort of thing, you know, the whole of social media. It's very easy to think that the whole fan base is turned against them when you look at a platform like Twitter or Instagram, but that's not the case. And I, after that game, as I was looking through X, I was thinking to myself, everyone's turned against me. The whole of the fan base, from what I'm seeing, which I know in my heart, as someone who goes to the game and hears people singing his name behind me, do you know what I mean? I know not everyone's turned against him, but you going as an away fan to those games, like, how do you think the die-hard core fans that do all those away games and are there to get up for that game feel?
You can be a die-hard fan because you are.
Yeah.
The problem is there's not enough away tickets for us all.
But
and
they're the fans that are going to be the ones that galvanise the team in those away games. So they're the ones that, how they're feeling is very important, because they're the ones that are going to carry them through certain games when you're all sat there singing and cheering and chanting. So it's important to me to know how they are feeling, because if they're not feeling like they back them, do you know what I mean?
It's frustration. It's going to these grounds and then having to watch a dull game of football like that. Do you know what I mean?
Again and again.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the feeling. There will be a lot of people who stand by him. There'll be a lot of people who are half confused now. Because earlier on in the season, I said, like, time's run out. However, since then, Liverpool have got a little bit better. But you're still seeing the main problems appear, you know, every so often. And you're seeing glimpses of the problems in games of football. Like, that's not gone away. But from fans' perspective, walking out the ground, it's mainly been the way we play football, is that you've gone there and then you've had to sit there for 60 minutes and be like, nearly pulling your hair out with watching the game.
But there's not frustration at him individually.
Yeah, there's frustration at him. There's a big amount of... There's fans who certainly think his time is past. And there's fans who think if he gets us into the Champions League, and that there's still stuff to play for right now, that, you know, you better letting him kind of see what he can do. And then if it doesn't work, hopefully you knock at Xabi Alonso's door and say, "Hiya, mate," because you don't want someone coming in now to the rest of the season kind of thing.
There's not that many games left to play, but also, let's say if the owners are thinking in any shape or form of making that change, is it not better to make the change quicker so that you've still got that chance in the Champions League? Yeah,
because if Xabi Alonso is your player, if the manager that you want,
I'd want Luis Enrique personally, but obviously that's a hard case to get into. You know what I mean?
He'd have to leave PSG and everything like that.
Yeah, that's the dream for me. If that door opened and there was any inkling that they could get him, then I'd want them to go and do that. Xabi Alonso, I've went through phases of being sold on the idea and then sort of realising the football's not that different.
I've only said Xabi Alonso because he's obviously a candidate and he's available.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool secretly right now will be basically saying to Xabi, "Hiya, mate, if this all goes tits up, will you come and join us?" Yeah. And I think Xabi Alonso, he didn't jump back into management or anything. He's kind of wasted his time, and he'll have wanted to start at the start where he can have a pre-season. There is a World Cup, so good luck with that. But my point being is, I don't think if we necessarily got rid of Slot earlier on that Xabi would have been like, "Go on then, I'll join halfway through the season," because it's a lot of pressure to put under himself when, you know, it's not him who's made the mess. And you've not got a lot of time on the training pitch with how many games there to try and sort stuff. So I've always been like, there's loads of reports being that Xabi Alonso wants to wait until the summer. So that's the only reason why I'm saying maybe that's why Liverpool never let him go. And also, I've just spoke about this, if Slot gets us Champions League football, I think Liverpool give him next season.
I don't know.
I just think it's the way we work.
I think you're right, and that's the way
not
that we
my opinion, by the way. Loads of people are going to be like fuming at me.
She thinks if they get top 5.
No, I just think if they get Champions League football next season, that Liverpool will stick by him.
Yeah, that's the decision that they'll make. But is that the decision that you'd want to make? If he gets top, say we finish 5th, it's top 5 for Champions League. Say we finish 5th.
If we're playing this brand of football, no.
So
my biggest problem is the way we're playing football.
But let's say we make signings in the summer that sort of like get another centre back, you know, sort some problems.
Who is specialised at DM.
Get a DM, maybe get another right winger, you know, stuff like that. Do that. Yeah. Top 5. We haven't won any trophies and we make signings. I think
Liverpool will stick by him, by the way. Because in the summer, you can bring players in. And I just think Liverpool in their head will be thinking, right, Champions League football is a must. For the way our model goes.
For money purposes. That's the main thing. It's a business at the end of the day in their minds.
They'll be thinking, if Liverpool don't get Champions League football, I don't think Slot's here next season. I think if he gets that, then Liverpool will go, benefit of the doubt, there's a lot that's happened on and off the pitch this season. You've got an extra summer, but where last season we were nice to you and let you go when there was really good chances to let you, like, to send you home and packing. Like, we won't be doing that this season. So you've got the pre-season to sort this out, and if we're not back up there and challenging, then I don't think he gets as long. But for some reason in my head, I just think they will look at it, because there's been loads of people who've said they're sticking by him. There's been lots of things for him to handle this season that have been outside of what's happening on the football pitch.
That Richard Hughes interview that they did as well, I think that was sort of a backing from the club. And who releases an interview like that when there's conversations around his job?
And exactly, and that's what I'm saying. This isn't my personal preference of what if I want Slot to stay or not. This is just me thinking, well, all of the signs so far have proved that Liverpool are sticking by him. So if he gets you Champions League football next season, I don't see Liverpool saying, nah, we're going to switch.
I can't see his brand of football changing. I can't see a change being made there, which makes me think that it's possibly time to move on unless he makes signings that help him play that style of football. And the mentality has got to change.
You've spent enough money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also a lot of players moved on. A lot of players did move on, and that was, I don't know why you let Quanta go, but then again, I'm
to potentially pay double and bring him back at some point.
I was one of those people that was going, oh yeah, let him go, he's not been good enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I'm sort of having a go at myself in the past for saying what I said, because now we've ended up in a situation where we needed him. But then he couldn't predict Leone getting injured. They had a lot of faith in that kid. You know, little things have gone wrong.
60 minutes
you know,
against Southampton.
Isak getting injured in the way that he did.
The fact that he literally hadn't kicked a footy for about 3 months because whatever was going on there.
He was trying to fight his way
out.
And
these are all the reasons why I think Liverpool will just stick by him.
Give him time.
What I will say, and like you said there, what do I want? I want Liverpool to play better football, because this level of football that we're playing now is not going to let Liverpool are too inconsistent, and there's too much relying on Arsenal have just got it locked down with the way they play football. It is so incredibly hard to beat them, and they somehow are just so good from set pieces and corners and everything, and they still do have attacking outlets here and there that they can get through games where it is risky to bet on that. Where Liverpool, it just feels like the way we play now, it's not a brand of football that you'd say you want to go and watch. Do you know what I mean? And I think Liverpool have always been A, an underdog at times, but B, a side that uses the crowd and excites the crowd and gets you on board, and then together that's when we create an unbelievable atmosphere that intimidates opposition players, where this season there's been hardly any of that, because the way we play it's boring.
Should we move on to tomorrow?
Yeah,
then?
We might as well.
Should we go on to tomorrow? Because if we go out tomorrow, there's going to be some rage for his job.
Well, I literally said he has to win one of the competitions or get us top 4.
But
top
even
5.
still being in the Champions League, you've got to do better in the FA Cup when you've drawn Wolves.
You've got to try and win the Champions League, the FA Cup, and get top 5. You just have to right now. That's where we're at. But if he goes out tomorrow, I'm sat here saying that Liverpool will back him, because that's just what I think they'll do. Let me tell you, there will be a big shift of how people think, and his job is still under a lot of pressure if he goes out tomorrow.
I think you could sort of argue both ways, that the way that the game went on Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah. The way the game went on Tuesday could either anger the players enough to make us absolutely batter Wolves tomorrow and just bring out this mentality in them that that interview that we saw with Virgil brings out some sort of rage and makes them be like, no, this can't go on any longer, and we can kick on with the embarrassment of what happened. Or it'll go completely the other way, and they're the ones that feel 10 foot tall on the pitch, and we just feel absolutely defeated and deflated from what happened midweek, that we'll end up getting beat. And I couldn't put a bet on it. Yeah. I could not put a bet on it, but I just can't sit through that game again. And me personally, I'm going to see Harry Styles in the Co-op Arena, which
he's not even with us.
Which isn't very me, by the way.
She didn't get me a ticket.
I know, I am very sorry. That's my dad's fault. But
I'll be having words.
It's not very me to miss a game of football. And I don't want to miss a game of football. I don't want to miss watching Liverpool play. But I don't want to watch that again. I seen on Tuesday. It might not be a
horrible time to not watch us.
I'm pretty sure, even though the game hasn't happened yet, I've seen it. I've seen what's going to happen, and it feels that way for a lot of fans.
Rio might start, guys.
Well, that's the dream. He's the only one that plays with no fear and confidence.
He loses the ball a little bit too much at the end of the Wolves game, but once again, he's a lad who's been drawn on to try and get Liverpool out the mud, and he's a young kid.
Yeah, you shouldn't be relying on a 17-year-old kid to be the one on the bench to drag you out of a situation like that. But at the end of the day, we've got injuries. You could have had an Alexander Isak sitting on the bench in that game if we didn't have the injuries. So honestly, this season could have a totally different outlook on it if we wouldn't have picked up some of the injuries and some of the things.
And do you know what the mad thing is? Look, it's we'll get on the Champions League in a minute. It's a path of death. But like, if Liverpool come away with 2 trophies, I mean, look, is that wishful thinking? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is Liverpool are still in 2 competitions, and like, they need to go and try and win them. And you know what? We've got European royalty, and in the FA Cup, there's a lot of pressure on him to bring home a trophy. When Liverpool have bad seasons, it is vitally important that you still pick up trophies. It's what Liverpool have done even when they've been bad. It's what Man United have done even when they've been bad in the last 10 years. Liverpool have to do that, and I think the FA Cup is really important. And hopefully they can get through, because the worst thing is having to fight for top 5 and that's all you've got left. That's such a boring kind of running that is like, no one is bothered or interested in that. I thought it'd be fun if we predicted the points for everybody towards the end of the season.
How more negative are we going to be since the last time we did this? Because last time we did this, guys, we put ourselves top of the league. I'm sure we calculated ourselves a few months ago of a way that we could get back to the top of the league. Cut the cameras, Chloe, you know. That wasn't even me. You did it as well.
Did I?
Well,
I'm pretty sure I didn't put us top of the league.
You had us like 2 points behind Arsenal, I think. Where by the time we
Someone
did this
needs to
last
go back
time.
and check.
Someone go back and check last time.
To know what I was thinking. I've got no idea. Someone needs to tell me.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're only just hitting the points we predicted.
Well, I've made a little tally so I can tell you what we're getting here.
Okay.
Obviously, I've also put in the Champions League fixtures, not to predict the points, but just because there is a game in between those Champions League fixtures that might be important. So we'll do. Should we do Liverpool first or Liverpool last?
Do Liverpool first.
Liverpool first.
Then we know where the land lies.
Okay, so we've obviously got Galatasaray on Tuesday. Then we have Spurs at home. Win, loss or draw?
Okay, so Galatasaray away, I'm going to
You don't need to give me Galatasaray out. I was just listing who we've got in between. You can if you want.
Oh, so you're not bothered about Galatasaray? Well, I was just going to say whether I thought we'd win that game or not.
Go on then.
I think we'll lose that game. But then I think at Anfield, okay, I think we'll pull it back and we'll, you know.
So after the loss to Galatasaray, you're going into Spurs?
I think we'll beat Spurs.
I mean, they are
Spurs
in a relegation battle.
We have got to beat Spurs at home. I've watched Spurs this season and they are dreadful. Yeah. There's some dreadful football.
Galatasaray at home.
Win.
Okay, are we going through then on goal difference?
What are you thinking? I need yours back.
Are
we beating Galatasaray away?
I think we draw away and we win at home.
Okay.
Look at me go.
What about Spurs though? Don't be negative, Chloe. Come on, it's Spurs at home.
Yeah, I'm giving us a win. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll join the mad
Thank God for that, because Chloe, I can't go in with such a negative mindset.
Brighton away.
Draw.
I
can see like a 2-2 draw, but we were winning the whole game, and we've seen
at home. I'm giving us a win. I'm sorry, I just am. Like, these are the games that I probably shouldn't give us wins for, but I'm gonna do it.
Harry Wilson's playing really well, isn't he? But he's picked up a bit of an injury, hasn't he? Did he not play the other day? I can't remember. On my fantasy football, he's got a little.
I don't play that.
This is a while ago. This is a while away. I think I'll.
Okay.
But I'll. The draw.
Christ.
Okay, sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, Chloe.
Everton away. I'm so sorry to tell you all, but I'm going with the loss.
A draw, but an Everton late equaliser. Maybe we'll end up like
last year. They're horrendous at home at the moment. They did beat Burnley the other day.
Maybe that sort of vibe again. I can just, do you know what? I think I'm just replaying nightmares I've had in my head, you know, of previous games. I'm just reliving all the nightmares of what we've ever had.
Palace at home, I'm giving us a win. Redemption.
Yeah, go on. I'll give us a win there.
Man United away. Oh, God Christ alive.
I will actually go for a win in that one.
Fair play.
I'm going
We
to...
go with a draw. We're going to both be scared to drop points.
I just don't know. I just feel like there's going to be an anomaly in these games where we just sort of put in a performance.
At home. I'm going for a win.
Yes. Go for a win. I can sort of see us. Do you know what's funny? It's Man United, Chelsea, Villa, isn't it?
Yeah, what are you getting for Villa?
A win. I just feel like we're going to go on a bit of a... Hopefully we've sorted everything out by this point and we go on a bit of a run.
Brentford at home. Win, I'm going with.
A win.
Stuff it.
I mean...
Have it.
A win.
Right, let's quickly do Chelsea, PSG away. You know.
A loss.
All right. Newcastle at home.
A win for Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. PSG at home then.
A loss.
Really, both?
Yeah.
I reckon Chelsea go through.
I need some of those English teams out. So I'm just...
For some reason, I just think that the English teams are just better than everybody else.
I know,
PSG
but that's
is
my
hard
problem.
because around about now they've turned incredible last season, but I don't know.
I just can't be bothered to just get Chelsea out.
Okay, Everton away. They've got to win.
I think they'll win there.
City at home.
City draw.
You reckon? I'm going to go with a loss. United at home.
A win.
You reckon? I'm going to go with...
You going for a United win?
Yeah. Brighton away. Win.
A win.
Forest at home. A win.
A draw.
Oh, you reckon? Okay, I'm going to go with a win because it's at home if it was away. Liverpool away. Well, I've already said win and you've said win.
I said a loss for Chelsea.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I meant wins for us. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, no, I meant like we both gave ourselves wins.
This is the part where we start going on that nice little run I was talking about.
Yeah. Spurs at home. I mean, it's a win. It's Spurs. Good Lord. Sunderland away. Last game of the season.
A win.
A win.
Spurs could literally go down here, you know. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, how can Spurs go down before Everton do?
I'm not living in that world because, like, it'd be the biggest team to go down in my
lifetime.
Villa, Man United play Villa.
Man United win.
Yeah, I would agree. It's at home as well. Bournemouth away for United. Win.
I win, yeah.
Leeds at home. It's a tough game in terms of...
draw.
I'm going to go with a win. Chelsea away,
What did I say before? I said the Chelsea win, didn't I?
Yeah, and I gave them...
What did you go for? You went for a United win, didn't you? She's changing her mind.
Very confusing
she's
changing
her mind.
I've got a win and a loss here for Chelsea v United, and I don't know which one of us gave the win.
I said Chelsea were going to win.
Did you?
So you must have said Man United were going to win.
Okay, there you go then.
What's she like? Like, you don't even know
you gave United the win.
Yeah, I gave Chelsea a win. Oh. You know what? This was her idea, by the way, to make a spreadsheet and put our scores in, and she can't even read her own spreadsheet that she's put the stuff in. Brentford will win. Okay,
I gave them. Is it Brentford at home? Yeah, I'll go with a win. Liverpool, we both said losses. No, we never. You said a win.
I said a win to Liverpool.
So a loss, and I said a draw.
Yeah.
Sunderland.
Oh, they'll win.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good here.
I know.
Forest away.
A loss.
No, I think draw. You said loss, I think draw.
Do you know what? She's not even adding up the points here, guys.
I'll do that at the end, guys. Don't worry, I need to calculate.
I'll just ramble while she calculates.
Brighton.
A draw.
Really?
I don't know why, just...
Right, I think I've gave too many wins to United here. Are they beating Villa, Bournemouth, Leeds and Chelsea all in one? No, so I'm going to change my mind on one of them. I'm going to go Bournemouth draw.
Okay.
Villa have lost and then United. You don't have to give it lost. I don't care. All I'm saying is that Man United aren't playing 2 times a week. We both gave Villa the loss there.
Yeah.
Then we've got West Ham win. Ooh.
Yes, I think they'll beat West Ham.
Okay, West Ham are doing good. Like,
I do think
Forest away.
I think they'll lose to Forest.
Okay, I'm going to go with a draw. Sunderland at home, I think they win.
A draw. I'll go for a draw. I'm going to try and get some points being dropped here now, guys.
Fulham away, I reckon that'll finish a draw.
I think Fulham will win.
Oh, do ya?
Yeah. I just have a little feeling. I've just got to start dropping some points.
If I've given anyone losses, really. Spurs at home, it's just an automatic win.
We've got Spurs going down here, basically.
We do, yeah. Burnley at home, a win. Liverpool,
a win for Liverpool, so a loss. Yeah. Is the maths then? What did you say? A draw? You said win-win. Oh no, win-draw. You said a draw.
So you said a loss and I said a draw.
I can read your spreadsheet better than you can.
City away. City will have to win if they... You were?
City will win.
Okay.
Why? What did you think?
Well, if the league's over by then, I think Villa are the only one fighting for something.
Yeah, that's a point. But the league.
But I'll put loss for now.
I still would put money on.
You just
City
ramble your little
league.
self because I've got to now go through this and just add them up quickly. Just do a one shot on it, Abby, because as if I have a clue.
She's just calculating away.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that City will still win the league, and I do realise that Arsenal have won and City have drawn recently. I can't allow my brain to let Arsenal win the league. I don't know how everyone else feels about it. Let me know in the comments of this video because I'd love to have a scroll through. I physically can't allow my brain to let Arsenal win the league. I can't imagine Arteta as a Premier League winning manager. I can't allow it.
Oh, right.
And my brain gets very frustrated at thinking about the thought of them winning it. I sort of take some solace in the fact that we won it first last year with a manager that's only just come in. That sort of makes me think, well, you're not really going to rub it in my face that much. But, you know, them as an online fan base and all that, and obviously that's not a reflection of who they really are. We have people on the internet that say they're Liverpool fans and they're not very nice, and they probably have the same thing. But there just seems to be an unbearable amount of attitude that we'll have to go through if they win the league. Their confidence levels will be very high, and even with the players on the pitch, do you know what I mean? Like,
sorry, I'm just tallying this up, and as I am, there's some like close calls here. Yeah.
Have we gone really, really close with it?
I mean, you have.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
that's because I started throwing loads of losses in. I started throwing loads of losses in. Just while you're typing, though.
My word.
Just while you're typing, though, Chloe.
Go on.
Do you think Arsenal win the league?
Yes.
You do believe that? Or that's not what you want, though, is it? You want City to win. It means nothing when City win the league to anybody else in the league except City fans, basically. And obviously United fans, it actually hurts them a lot. But it just means absolutely nothing to me if City win the league. It just doesn't feel real. It just doesn't feel real. It's got a fakeness to it. In my mind, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not even going to say why I think that. But for Arsenal to win it, I just don't think we did the end of it. I just do not think we did the end of it, and I can't accept that yet. And I just think City, with a manager like Pep, have the ability to just go on a mad run. And I do think Arsenal will always have that mentality inside of them of being able to let it slip. I probably need to have a closer look at some of Arsenal and City's fixtures, though, to be fair.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what you've gave United. I've got to retally that because that just feels wrong.
What have I put them? Third? Have I put them third? Have I? Have I not? What have I done?
I don't know yet.
Oh no, guys. Have I been too nice?
Have you been too
horrible?
nice?
Have I been
I'll tell you how many
horrible?
points you gave them in a minute.
It's always
right.
This is the maths. I'm not very... What did you get at maths GCSE? I only got a C.
I got a... I don't know. It was numbers. It was a C or a B.
Numbers? Oh. What's our age gap? A year?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I was the last year of it just being like A, B, C, D and all that.
No, I got numbers.
You're making me feel dead old. This is like when I was younger and my mum would say, she'd sat her O-levels when she was talking about GCSEs, and I would just be like,
That's
when was an O-level?
What is an O-level?
An O-level's like an old GCSE.
Easier.
I think it's just what they call it. I think it's just the name. I think it's like the format of the papers. I mean, if it's easier, I wish I had sat them. But
Right, I'm not sure I've done the maths right, but here I am. Do you know what I mean?
have you done yours as well?
Yes,
Okay,
I've tallied all of us up.
Let's hear
Now,
it.
we're looking at Liverpool, okay, everybody, and whilst I'm here, I'm just also going to get up my little table, because do I know how many points are, the other people are
We
on?
live in the
No.
I don't encourage the use of AI, right? I don't believe in it, but we live in the day and age of AI answering questions like that, and we've just made everyone
we're so sorry about all of that. You've got Liverpool finishing on 69 points.
Okay, what about you?
I've got Liverpool finishing on, I've already forgot what we were on. We're on 48, everybody. I've got Liverpool finishing on 66.
Okay, so see, I'm the positive one.
You've then got, who's next? Chelsea. They're on the same amount of points as us, I know that. You've got Chelsea finishing on 68 points. Jesus.
Last game of the season's going to be exciting if it goes the way I'm predicting it.
And I've got Chelsea finishing on, are you ready for this? Because this is incredible.
Go on.
66 points, which is what I said Liverpool would finish on. Then who's next? Man United, I'm pretty sure. How many points are Man United on? 51. We're going to guess and say yeah. You've got United finishing on 65 points.
Nice.
Yeah. I have got United finishing on, and no one's going to enjoy it. I'm not having United getting 20. I've put United getting 21 points. Can I change anything?
No changing. You've done what you've done. Your predictions are solidified.
United finishing on 72 points.
Chloe, what? Ooh, I'm sorry, is this the United stand we're sitting on right now? This is Redmen TV.
Have I added that correctly, guys? I've gave them a win.
The negativity.
Win. I've not gave them a loss. Wait there, let me give them a loss at least. Good God.
Should this be allowed?
Here.
I don't think this should be allowed. I think this is cheating. Because for a fact, I think 72 is far too high for what they're going to finish on. And
yeah, sorry, I'm going to give them a loss here. Which means I'm taking away 3 points, which means they finish on 69. That is unbelievable. So they also finish on 69, not 72, guys. Sorry.
Cheating. Straight up cheating.
But technically, I've gave Liverpool 69 points and they're already 3 ahead of us, so I've done it correct, technically. Do you know what I mean? And then finally, it's Villa, and I'm not going to lie, I think we basically crapped all over Villa. Villa 61 points for you. And for me, I gave them 66 points. So
you've got Liverpool, Chelsea and Villa all on 66 points, Chloe, haven't you?
I've got United on 69 and then all of us on 66.
But you give everyone else the same point. So what happens last game? So goal difference and...
Look, all I'm saying is...
Can you imagine how mental it would be if that happened? If just...
But like it's going to be tough. I reckon...
But it's very possible though, because
I've not gave enough losses across the board for anybody, is what I've realised. But it wouldn't surprise me if we all lost a similar amount of games.
I know, but Chloe, come on. You've been too nice to Man United there, I think.
Why the third?
I know, but I just hate them. I can't. And maybe you're more rational than me. I physically cannot take myself out of the fan bubble.
You have Liverpool first. Then you have Chelsea second.
So I have us finishing.
Then you have Villa, and then you have United. So you're saying United's missing out. It's unbelievable. It really is. I've gone with United, sadly, in third. And then I'm going to put Liverpool, Chelsea and Villa. So I've got
us finishing third.
You've got us finishing third.
It's me going, we're not making top 5, guys. And then we've done the predictions. I'm like, oh, we're finishing third.
What a delight. I've gone with United finishing third, then Liverpool finishing fourth, Chelsea finishing fifth, and Villa finishing outside of the European,
It's tight.
the top 5.
It's tighter than you actually think it is. Like, I could sit here.
There's 3 points in it.
I can sit here with you and feel dead miserable about the way we're playing, but you forget everyone else is being inconsistent as well. Like, even Man United the other night, do you know what I mean? Like, 1 minute you can think like, oh, they'll just be absolutely fine, and then they'll start dropping points. So,
but either way, I actually, when I look at it, I don't think United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa, like, if you would ask me to guess what way it's going to go, I'd have said that.
Would you?
I'd have put Liverpool fourth, yeah. I reckon Villa just don't, they're not used to the pressure of having to be in the top 4 race. Obviously it goes to 5th spot, but they're also contending with Europa League football as well, and Unai Emery's a masterclass in that. So at some point, if it's going downhill in the table for them, they might look at that, because if you win that, you get in the Champions League. So I think Villa don't have the know-how to deal with this.
Yeah,
I think United are just a lot more stable than they have been. Chelsea are like that, and I think Liverpool will scrape into 4th just above Chelsea.
I think I'd have done mine the way you've done it. If I was to say it before we added up the points, I think I would have went United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa.
Instead, she's gone Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa, United.
But doesn't that sound amazing? Isn't that what you'd rather?
I'd rather that. But at the same time,
it's not happening, is it?
I mean, somehow out of all of those teams, I'd probably say United have been the most consistent in the last 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, they have, but you never know.
We want that to drop off. Yeah.
We want that to drop off. I think we've seen a few cracks. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm right. Or, Chloe, we go and win the Champions League.
I'd rather that.
Anyway.
Just give me that.
I said the last title to our last podcast was literally Liverpool winning the Champions League, and I've not lost faith in it yet, you know.
That's good.
I've still just
What
got
about
this
now when I
little
read out
feeling.
this? Obviously, yous have all seen this, but we're bringing it back because we've not reacted to it. The silver path is PSG v Chelsea, Galatasaray v Liverpool. The winner of that is, hopefully Liverpool, but Liverpool will either be facing Chelsea or PSG.
It'll be Liverpool PSG. I think you think it'll be Liverpool Chelsea.
I think it'll be Liverpool Chelsea. Then it's Real Madrid City v Atalanta. Not v Atalanta and Bayern. No, that's incorrect. Or Atalanta v Bayern. Bayern instantly through. Real Madrid or City? I'm going to go City.
Madrid.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's Bayern v City. Also, by the way, we're not getting through the other side. Arsenal are just reaching the final.
Bayern for Madrid for me, and I will go for Bayern.
Okay.
Luis Diaz against Liverpool once we get past PSG.
Oh, God. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Liverpool beat Chelsea because I need us to win the Champions League. And I'm going to say that Bayern beat Manchester City.
Yeah, so you're saying Bayern, Liverpool
I'm saying
as well?
Bayern, Liverpool, yeah.
I would be gutted to see Diaz against us.
Then who's facing Arsenal in the final, Abby?
Oh, it's going to be Liverpool-Arsenal final.
Yeah.
Don't even need to do the other side of it, guys, because it's
all
the easiest
I've got to say is, please, Barcelona or Atleti, just do something. Please. I've got no hopes on Spurs. I actually have more hopes on Newcastle and Spurs. I'd love Bodo Glimt to just shock everybody. How the hell do Arsenal have one of Sporting or Bodo Glimt? Come on, Bodo.
Leverkusen might do something mad.
No. Don't see it happening. So it will be a Liverpool-Arsenal. I would, on levels of which I would despise, that is. I think I'd rather face an English side that have won the Champions League. Imagine you lose the Champions League and give Arsenal their first ever.
No.
I couldn't do it. I don't think I would be able to watch that game of football.
I can't physically stand the thought of them winning the league right now. So the idea of them beating us in a Champions League final makes me feel sick. So
either way, that was our little prediction for that. We've predicted the top 4 and the Champions League for you. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for joining. Will we be going live next Wednesday on TikTok?
Guys, go on our TikTok. We are going to be going live with each other. I have done a couple of tests. If any of you have seen any of like the 4 people that have joined at 10 times of me
I saw
painting.
a bit.
Yeah, I was doing a bit painting and it's finished, and I'm going to be posting a photo of it tonight, so it's probably going to be up by the time this podcast's up. So if you're interested in buying that, drop me a DM.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't wait for the prints coming out as well.
I'll do some prints.
We love that. We all love that. I saw someone mention to you, what did they mention the other day? And it was iPhone cases. That would be sick.
I thought that'd be cool, you know. Imagine just like one of the
Can I just give you my iPhone case to draw on?
I mean, it's
Can you paint on it?
Yeah, but it's dead small. I'll do it.
Okay, great. That can be one of the shows.
But it's very small. Yeah, well, we were thinking, like, you know.
Were we?
Yeah, well, we were thinking you can just sing Liverpool songs for a whole podcast and I will just paint for April Fools.
I'm not sure how that's playing to my strengths, but...
Chloe can't half sing, guys. If you've heard her in that away end, if you've heard her on the Cop, she's immaculate. She is the Liverpool singer, I think. She leads the Cop.
Right. Not sure about that. But if it ever happens, no, thank you. Not yet. The vocal cords aren't warmed up enough. Thank you so much for joining us. Maybe you might see us singing and painting next time. I'm really not sure, but see you then.